Hi, Leah Marie here, and I am here to share with you different ways for stress management, anxiety relief, and mindfulness practices as we go through this whole process of dealing with the coronavirus. I am hoping that these lunch and learns are effective, that you're finding the information helpful. I want to share with everybody these different techniques that I've been using for almost 20 years now to help manage my own stress. I come at this from a perspective of not only, just talking about these things, but I have found that these techniques are completely so effective in managing stress and anxiety and all different ranges of emotions because I've done it myself. It's not just because I wanted to learn some fashionable thing. This is real life for me. This is why I'm so passionate about it. I shared with everyone yesterday that I had a near-death experience with a horse accident, which stopped my heart back in the year 2001. And that's how I got on track with doing all of this. I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and the emotional freedom technique, the meditation, really helped me out. I did touch a lot of these components that are built into Ayurveda, the most ancient and whole comprehensive medical approach that we have in study of humanity. It's the science of life. And, I started learning about that probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and I was a student for a while. I started educating in the peripheral edges of it. I was already educating in meditation and that sort of thing. But after I had babesiosis and Lyme disease, I had some serious illnesses. I found that Ayurvedic practices were what were the long-term sustainable practices for me that helped me get my health back to 100%. So, the things that we do for the acute side of Lyme disease and babesiosis, they're both tick-borne illnesses, are phenomenal. They help us sustain our lives and get over those diseases as best we can. However, they can also damage our guts, and that's what I struggled with in the last maybe 5 or 6 years. And Ayurveda helped me heal that, my microbiome. Following the daily routine was very powerful for me, and looking at the way that I ate and adding some of those enhancements that come along with the nutritional side of Ayurveda. I was always doing a lot with the emotional detoxification. So Ayurvedic spoke to me. Ayurveda, that lifestyle, really spoke to me, and I'm so grateful that I have the knowledge and now have studied under Deepak Chopra's program, and Chopra Global is going global. They are really taking it to another level. So I'm excited about that, because a lot of the things that I teach and share are going to be, more knowledgeable. It's going to be more of a versatile knowledge throughout the world, rather than people saying what? I get that a lot. I get people asking me, is that a hair product? And no, it's absolutely not. It's the oldest healing system in the world. So that's Ayurveda. A lot of the practices that I show are based on Ayurveda. But what I'm going to show you today is Pranayama breath work. I'm going to show you one of the styles of Pranayama breath work. And it's alternate nostril breathing. And we have this inner pharmacy that we can tap into. And now with all of the stress, anxiety, and unknown circumstances, this is very much needed at this time, because I think that not only our physical well-being is at risk, but very much so we have to be concerned about our mental well-being. I've been speaking to colleagues, speaking to clients, speaking with companies that I service, and they're all sharing the same thing, that people are getting very concerned. How long is this going to be going on for? The economic conditions that we're facing now, it was just like an instantaneous experience. We all didn't realize how fragile our economy, or the fact that our the supplies that we think we have in America aren't really there. It's been a big awakening for all of us, and I think that this is a time to have a moment to reset, So if you are struggling with any emotions or you're having anxiety or stress, right now especially, it's important to learn about this inner pharmacy, and also take note of where you are needing some self-care, what areas of your life that you want to work on in a different perspective. So this is that time. This is what they call in the spiritual world the dark night of the soul. And there is a light at the end of this tunnel for all of us. There is a light. And also, I think that a lot of us are concerned of if we might contract something that could affect us with this coronavirus, if we might contract it. I'm hearing every day more and more people, and the numbers are rising. That's pretty stressful. You're not even sure if you can go out to the grocery store. So these things that we have had, like a shift, like incredible shift in the way we live, it's a time for us to have some contemplation, to have self-care, to tap into our inner pharmacy, to understand ourselves better, more self-awareness, grow our emotional intelligence. And I have to say, I am so grateful that we have the internet, and we have, I think it's about 75% of adults that are over 65 have smartphones, and under that is about 99% across the world. This is across the world. So the fact that most of us are connected to the internet and have smartphones, it's incredible, especially at this time, so that we can still connect, we can still see each other in different ways. We all look like we're more movie stars or whatever, but that's that's besides the point. We really still can see other humans, and we can still communicate. So that's why I'm doing this. I hope that you guys are finding these lunch and learns effective, and that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that you realize I'm doing this because I really care. I really do. I want to share what I have learned on my path to help enable you to have some strength during this, to try to process this in ways that will calm you. So today, the pranayama breath work that I'm going to teach you about, it is called Nadi Shahana, and it is so powerful. It stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which it kind of governs our endorphins in a lot of ways. It will stimulate and inspire your body to produce relaxation hormones, endorphins, and it also energizes you at the same time. So there's this balance, there's this dynamic balance going on with the energies of this alternate nostril breathing technique. And so with that being said, I'm going to get started. You're going to extend your thumb and your ring finger and your pinky finger, and you're going to put your index finger and your pointer finger down. This is the mudra, the hand mudra that you're going to be holding through this practice. And you're going to gently find there's like a little area in your nose, a little indent in your nose that you can locate that will help you close off your nostril. Now, before you touch your face, I want you to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. That's very important nowadays. But you're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, and you're going to press on this nostril, and you're going to inhale in the left side, and then you'll turn over on the ring finger and you'll exhale, and then you'll inhale, and then you'll shift fingers, and then you'll exhale, and then you'll inhale, and then you'll shift sides and you'll exhale. Inhale and exhale. So you notice I'm doing this repetition, which it's like you're inhaling on one side, exhaling, and then you're switching sides and you're inhaling and exhaling. So you're just going back and forth and doing this over and over again. And you can actually do this for like an hour, and it will stimulate so much of a relaxation response. You'll just feel euphoric. It's pretty powerful stuff. We have this inner pharmacy, as I said, that is so incredibly powerful. I have some sort of notification coming across my screen, so I'm just checking that off. It's incredibly powerful, and I think that it's important that you tap into different things like this right now, because we don't have access to the types of things that we did before. A lot of people, when they have anxiety, they're kind of looking for solutions outside of themselves, and maybe this is a time where you'll learn about things that are right in with it. It's within you, and that might be a big shift for you in a lot of ways. So I am so excited to share these types of practices with you, because, as I said, they've been so effective for me. And a lot of people, I'm not sure if I shared this yet, the yogis that go to yoga every day, they think that that's all they need to do it as yoga. No, you can do this without the yoga. You can get this done if you're feeling any stress, anxiety, any emotions. You can start stimulating those endorphins to bring you inner peace right away. Next, I want to address more positive thinking approaches to what's happening. I heard from a friend, well, she's actually a colleague that I do a lot of networking with, and she was telling me today she's lived in New York City before many years, and she still has friends there, and so apparently everybody's pretty much self-quarantining there. It's mandated, so they're opening their windows at a certain time in the day, and they're shouting out words of gratitude like thank you, and they're grateful, and just positive language, so that other humans can hear their voices and that they can feel inspired and feel connected. And that's what we need to do right now. We all need that energy of connection, even though we are distancing, social distancing, self-isolating. We still need that connection. So that I thought was really powerful, and maybe I live in kind of a rural area, so it's not going to work for me. Okay, so I wanted to share this wonderful resource to you that a lot of people might not feel comfortable with, and so I say, wipe out anything that doesn't feel comfortable for you, but it does address Jesus and God, but if you can leave that in, or you can take it out depending on what your belief system is. But I love this book. This is an incredible book, The Course, and it's based on A Course in Miracles, and the author is Karen Casey, and it's meditations with the Course. And the Course in Miracles addresses life in very unique ways. It allows you to process things with a healthier perspective, with a more elevated consciousness attitude about situations that are happening in your life. And I'm going to read one of the excerpts from this book. It's actually kind of a calendar, and each day has a different teaching attached to it. So I'm actually, I opened the book. This always happens to me with this book. I love this book. I opened the book up before I started this recording, and I feel this is extremely appropriate for at this time. The opportunity, it's addressing illness, and it's on August 24th of this book. So the opportunity to be healed and to heal others is ever present. Nearly every day we are confronted by evidence of someone's illness. As beginning students of the Course, which is A Course in Miracles, we often resist the idea that people want to have cancer or diabetes or worse, but they do. Some students walk away from the Course rather than to try to accept what we don't understand. Those of us sharing these words have chosen the alternative. That doesn't mean we won't struggle against some ideas, but when we do, we can repeatedly ask the Holy Spirit for help in seeing the truth. There is no magic in coming to understand the truth, but there is freedom. Freedom from anxiety, guilt, illness, and pain. And when we become free, we are examples that others can emulate. I will look at the sick today as being well. How I see myself is how I see others. So those folks that were maybe feeling, I think the lesson in that is those folks that were feeling, oh, they have this illness, I can't be around them. They're basically written off. Some of these COVID-19 patients are being harshly treated. And I think even before it made it over into the United States, a lot of people were starting to or already speak in those terms. And, we've got to embrace this. This is part of our experience, and we're going through this together. So that alone, should bring us. I've seen a lot of people supporting loved ones and families, and they're trying to do their best from a distance. And so that's not what I'm saying is get close to somebody that has COVID-19 and compromise yourself. But we have to realize that as we're going through this, and even strangers that might be around us, we have to embrace them and realize that they're just as afraid as we are, that we are all experiencing this together, and that we have to just keep the faith that this will, be resolved very soon. So saying this mantra can help, because I think that it's very powerful in this perspective. I will look at the sick today as being well. If we envision them being well, then we are already seeing it for them. And I'm not talking about it from a hocus woo-woo standpoint. There is that element to some of the law of attraction here. But if we continue to focus on everybody being sick, everybody getting sick, then it's just going to continue to perpetuate and grow fear. And that's what I think the media has really focused on. So maybe if we start to see all of the good things that are coming of this, the balancing of mind, body, spirit, having this time. I hear a lot of people talking about opportunity to actually be home and experiencing like this home life is waking them up to how much they've missed. So there's that opportunity. And then there's these opportunities to connect with others. I talked to somebody in Denmark earlier today, and we wouldn't have had that chance if we didn't have the internet. So having more connection through this internet application is just phenomenal. And that being said, just doing this kind of work for people that are feeling sick and feeling like they have no hope, we need to ensure that we don't allow them to feel that, or we do our best to bring this type of teaching to them, because they need to inspire these positive endorphins too. Like I said, when you're inspiring positive endorphins, it brings about health and wellness. So even if you're sick, you need to keep trying to bring up those feelings of positivity and doing different actions like this pranayama breath work, because then it inspires the healing. I actually watched I was at a presentation with a doctor that did hip and knee surgeries, and he said that his patients that thought positively showed healing on x-rays faster than those that thought negatively. So all of the stuff that's being said is important to know. We need the transparency of what the media is reporting, but we also have to inject some of this other stuff, some of this mind-body balance, so that it's not all doom and gloom, and we can focus on the healing aspects of ourselves and others. So, that's kind of what I wanted to say about the positive mindset. Another mantra that is helpful to focus on is, I need to carefully notice what I'm thinking today. It defines how I see my experience. So that's a very powerful mantra too. We have to realize that our thinking can create our reality, and it's not like it's a magical thing. It's where we're seeing. It's our perspective. So our perspective is incredibly powerful. It is what dictates our whole experience, how we define our moments. So if you're looking at this from a perspective of doom and gloom, then that's what your experience will be. But if you look at this as an awakening and a challenge that we need to take on because we need to improve the way we're living, then that's the way that you should probably continue, because you'll be more at peace. You'll have that more solid foundation to work from. So we only have another minute here, less than a minute. I just want to take you into this moment of pranayama breath work you just did, and we're talking about those positive affirmations. And I just want to have you shut your eyes for just a couple seconds left and get into that space where you are in the alpha brainwave state, relaxation, and just being present with my voice. And I want you to tap into this moment and just say, why am I here? What am I to do? What is my purpose? And you can explore that question, that line of questioning for a while, and just sit and listen. Just see what comes to mind when you ask those questions. What am I here to do? What's my purpose in all of this? How can I be of service? And I hope you enjoy this meditation and continue it after you're done here listening to me. But I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy. Namaste.